The previous episode ended with Yoshizumi having barely managed to assemble enough participants for the shoot, only to be informed by Urashibara that the copyright for Tokyo Blade had never been secured. Urashibara instructed him to notify the cosplayers immediately and have them switch to different, copyright-free characters instead. Creating new costumes at such short notice was impossible. But the situation was salvaged when Yoshizumi's sister offered her personal collection of standard-sized cosplay outfits, allowing the production to proceed. Despite this resolution, dissatisfaction lingered among the cosplayers. One of them, Maya, expressed strong frustration, feeling that the television staff had acted solely out of convenience without any consideration for the effort or feelings of the performers. Although a series of unexpected complications occurred, filming ultimately concluded without further disruption. Just as Yoshizumi began to relax, Urashibara appeared on set. Upon learning that Maya regularly engaged in borderline or suggestive cosplay content as part of her online activities, Urashibara responded with crude language and, during her interview segment, posed a series of deeply uncomfortable and intrusive questions that bordered on harassment. After the shoot, Maya posted a message on social media stating that modern television programs had become utterly worthless. She explained that she had specifically asked friends to help her stay up all night crafting custom costumes for the event, only to be told at the last minute to change characters. On top of that, she was subjected to humiliating questions based solely on her profession treatment she described as emotionally exhausting. Declaring that she needed a break, she announced her temporary withdrawal from cosplay activities. Her post resonated widely with the public, sparking an outpouring of support and widespread condemnation of the program's conduct. Faced with mounting backlash, the production company had no choice but to cancel the broadcast of the episode and assign full responsibility for the incident to Urashibara. Urashibara made no attempt to defend himself. Instead, he simply told Yoshizumi not to invite troublesome individuals like Maya in the future, dismissing her as someone who deliberately stirred controversy, gained attention and online traffic. This remark provoked strong disapproval from Yoshizumi, who countered that it was precisely Urashibara's lack of basic respect for others that had escalated the situation. He argued that Urashibara's outdated, old-school approach no longer worked in the current media landscape. At that moment, Urashibara, who had remained calm until then, suddenly became agitated. He explained that in his view, edginess and entertainment were two sides of the same coin. He pointed out that the show had been moved from traditional television to online streaming precisely because conventional content could no longer capture audience interest, and that someone with his controversial reputation was hired for a reason, in an era where restrictions on taboos kept multiplying. Lowbrow or provocative topics were often the only way to attract viewers. He acknowledged that he understood the potential consequences of asking those inappropriate questions, but emphasized that he was no genius, just an ordinary person relying on ratings to make a living. Before leaving, Urashibara apologized to Yoshizumi for the last-minute character change and stated that he would take full responsibility for the entire incident. His words left Yoshizumi deeply discouraged. He began to wonder whether enduring years of grueling work as an assistant director only to eventually become a director constrained by endless rules and compromises was truly worth it. Urashibara might be a terrible person, but his programs consistently achieved high viewership. Could Yoshizumi really do any better? While lost in these thoughts, Yoshizumi was approached by Ruby, who suddenly appeared holding a detailed project proposal. The very next day, the production team filmed the special emergency episode and invited Maya, the very person affected by the incident, as a guest. During the broadcast, Urashibara formally apologized for his earlier behavior and clarified the circumstances behind the unauthorized use of Tokyo Blade. He explained that while copyright permissions for most anime can typically be obtained through a straightforward request to the production committee, Tokyo Blade was an exception due to its creator, Abiko, being exceptionally protective of her work, resulting in an unusually strict approval process. This time, they simply failed to secure permission before filming began. The production committee and Abiko herself later confirmed that Urashibara's explanation was accurate. Of course, this clarification did not excuse his disrespectful treatment of the cosplayers. To express sincere remorse, Urashibara took an extraordinary step. He wore a cosplay outfit that he had personally handmade. The garment was visibly rough-stitched unevenly, with clumsy seams and amateurish construction, but its imperfections clearly demonstrated that it had been made by his own hands, stitch by stitch. Seeing this, Maya understood that Urashibara had genuinely tried to grasp the effort and dedication involved in cosplay. Recognizing his attempt to empathize, she forgave him. and the two reached a peaceful reconciliation with the program. With the matter finally resolved, everything seemed to return to normal. Yet Aqua still had one unanswered question for Ruby. At what point had this entire sequence of events begun? Had it all been carefully orchestrated by her from the start? Aqua had already perceived the subtle hand guiding the outcome, every twist, every resolution aligned to perfectly to be coincident. Now, facing Ruby directly, he awaited her response. Subscribe to the channel to get the latest updates on the Let's Hide No Ko Season 3 as soon as new episodes air.